Hi, I'm Emily.
And I'm Erin, and this is our Macbeth song. 3 witches gather in the desert.
When the battle's lost and won,
They
plan to meet Macbeth.
At a military camp near Duncan's palace, Duncan asked for news about the battle. He was informed on how Macbeth and Banquo defeated the Irish invaders. He pronounced,
No more that Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interest. Go pronounce his present death, and with his former title greet Macbeth.
the witches are back.
All hail Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Glamis! All hail Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor! All hail Macbeth! Thou shalt be king hereafter.
Lesser than Macbeth and greater, thou shalt get kings, though thou be none.
The witches vanish, and the prophecy that Macbeth becomes Thane of Cawdor is fulfilled in his palace.
Duncan announces his intention to name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland, his eldest son, Malcolm.
Macbeth declares his joy, but recognizes that in order to take Malcolm's position from him, terrible things must be done. Lady Macbeth receives a letter from Macbeth announcing his thaneship position.
When Macbeth arrives, Lady Macbeth persuades him to kill King Duncan.
Macbeth sees a floating dagger before him. He soon after hears Lady Macbeth's signal to go to Duncan's chamber and kill him.
Macbeth hath done the deed.
His hands covered in blood.
Lady Macbeth tells Macbeth to
wash this filthy witness from his hand.
She tells him to give her the daggers,
so she can frame the guards herself.
Horror! 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 Cries Macduff as he comes running from the king's chamber.
Malcolm and Donalbain arrive on the scene and are told that their father has been murdered.
They whisper to each other that they are not safe and decide that they must flee the court. Macbeth has been made king by the other lords and has left to be crowned. Suspicion has fallen on the princes who have fled the court. Macbeth reflects on the subject of Banquo, stating that
our fears in Banquo stick deep.
Macbeth's servant enters with the 2 murderers he has hired.
Macbeth tells the murderers that Fleance must be murdered with Banquo.
Macbeth enters and tells his wife that they must finish what they started because there are still threats.
He says that, oh, full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife.
He tells her that he has planned a deed of dreadful note.
2 murderers, joined by a 3rd, wait outside the palace. Banquo and Fleance approach. The murderers kill Banquo, who urges his son to escape. Walks among the company at the feast.
The first murder appears at the doorway.
Macbeth approaches him and hears about the death of Banquo and how Fleance escaped.
Macbeth returns to the table, only to find Banquo's ghost in his chair.
Macbeth yells at the ghost,
Avaunt, quit my sight, let the earth hide thee! Macbeth enters, asking the witches about the truth of their prophecies.
To which they tell him, beware, Macduff, none of woman born shall harm him, and he is safe until Birnamwood moves to Dunsinane Hill.
He then decides to send murderers to kill Macduff and his family. At Macduff's castle, Lady Macduff is upset that her husband fled.
She refuses to flee when the messenger has told her to do so. The murderers then appear.
They stab Macduff's son and chase Lady Macduff to kill her as well.
A plan is made by Malcolm to end Macbeth's reign as king with a cavalry of 10,000 soldiers.
Ross tells Macduff of how Macbeth murdered his family, and Macduff seeks revenge. At the palace a doctor observes Lady Macbeth's madness as she sleepwalks and cries out, "Out, damn spot!" while trying to wash invisible blood from her hands.
The English army led by Malcolm marches toward the castle.
Joined by the Scottish army, however, Macbeth has prepared the castle for an event like this.
Macbeth, so egotistic,
Does not view the army and believes in the witches' prophecies.
So he puts on his armor and prepares for battle.
Malcolm and Seward come up with a plan
To have the soldiers each hold bows in front of their faces and bodies.
as they approach the castle. Life's but a walking shadow.
A poor player that struts and frets upon the stage.
And then is heard no more,
It is a tale told by an idiot.
full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
Macbeth responds upon hearing the news that his wife is dead.
A messenger then tells him that Birnam Wood's trees
Are moving towards the castle.
Macbeth fights on the battlefield, and soon Macduff finds him wanting to slay Macbeth. Macbeth tells him of his invincibility according to the prophecies, only to be informed that Macduff was untimely ripped from his mother's womb. Macduff kills Macbeth and holds Macbeth's head to show that Malcolm is now the true King of Scotland.